We're joined by George Mason players Cam Long and Isaiah Tate. Coach Larinaga is making his way here. If you got some questions for both Cam and Isaiah, we'll start with questions for them, and then we'll get a coach statement from Coach Larinaga in just a second.
Isaiah, what triggered the comeback after falling behind, and what adjustments did you have to make at that point?
In the first half, they were getting everything they wanted in the paint. They really weren't shooting too many outside shots, and they kept getting inside us, and we were fouling a little bit. We just had to turn up our defense. We tried to pack it in a little bit, and we continued to control the paint. That gave us a way to make a run, and we were able to do that.
For Isaiah, how big were the threes that Cornelius hit in the first half? He seemed to kind of keep you guys within striking distance at the first half there.
They were definitely big. That was at the time when we started to get some stops, and we needed some offense from somebody. And Andre, he got hot, and we kept feeding him, and he was making his shots, which definitely gave us a momentum going back and leading into the half.
For Jim, Mike, in previous
Why don't you talk
years.
to the players first, and then
Okay.
we'll let them go.
Okay. Cam, especially, you led the team 15 points tonight, and a lot of it came in second half shooting 5 for 9, 4 for 4 from the line. How are you able to pull away in the second half, especially? I mentioned defense.
Yeah, definitely. Defense is what it was. Like, we picked up the intensity level on our defensive side. What we got to understand is our defense is mainly what leads to our offense. And when we was capable of getting stops and rebounding the ball, we was able to run and get assists. Because like Coach said, we only had 3 assists in the first half. And let's see, we finished out with 11. So, I mean, it's not that much, but it's definitely a pickup from the first half. So with us being able to get stops and lead us to the offensive side and get assists on that, and that's how we picked it up.
Anything else for the players?
Cam, what was the sense, I guess, when you were down 11 and Georgia State was hitting everything? There's no panic. You guys never seem to panic. But what was the sense among the team?
Well, actually, we've been coming out with a slow start for the last couple of games. And I definitely want to say the momentum definitely came from Andre Cornelius. When he knocked down them big threes to just give us the motivation, it really helped us out. And, I mean, we just got to stop coming out with a slow start. We got to stop doing that. And once we understand and pick it up from the very beginning, we have a better chance of not having to fight back rather than, you know, just playing our game.
Anything else for these guys? Cam, in the event that you play VCU, pending the outcome of this game, can you talk about the potential matchup with a VCU?
Well, I mean, we all know that's a good team. Drexel's a good team, but we're going to focus on this win right now. And later on, when it comes down to we having a meeting, then we'll focus on that one.
Off turnovers, it was 27 points for y'all. You ran a couple on the fast break, and you even got a dunk in the game, which I haven't seen you do much this season. How are you able to get those turnovers and turn them into points?
Well, we started trapping half court and picking up full court, and we were able to get loose balls. It was really off of the team's hustle and passion. You know, we met in the huddle, and we were like, you know, we got to just pick up our intensity. And we were able to speed them up a little bit, and we were able to get out on the break and get open court opportunities.
Thank you very much, guys. Joined by George Mason head coach Jim Larinaga, and we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Larinaga on the game and then open up for questions for him.
Well, they didn't say it, but I will. Senior leadership, those two guys did a fantastic job of keeping the team poised and focused on what we needed to do. I thought Georgia State, first of all, had a terrific win yesterday, and they came into this game with a high level of defensive intensity. I think it actually surprised our guys a little bit as to how hard they were playing, how physical they were. They've always been a good defensive team. They've been big and physical, but it seems like yesterday and today they really put an emphasis on just taking it to the rim. And as Isaiah Tate mentioned, they were able to get the ball to the basket, lob, pass, driving layups, fast break layups. And we needed to respond. We did, and Andre Cornelius' three certainly shifted the momentum. But I think it all came from the level of intensity that we were able to reach with our defense in the first half. And then at halftime, we stressed they shot 60% in the first half, and they out-rebounded us by 6, and they had more assists than we did. So the message was we needed to play George Mason basketball the way we've been playing all season long, and that's with the defense creating opportunities for the offense. And you can see in the second half we held them to 21% shooting. They ended up with 21 turnovers. We ended up with 8 assists in the second half. We ended up shooting the ball better because of that, and we're able to catch up late in the first half, pull ahead in the second half, and then come away with a nice double-digit victory. Steve?
Jim, can you talk about Isaiah's contribution, not just with the scoring, but just the all-around play added to the leadership?
Well, I told Isaiah Tate about maybe a week ago, he didn't look like himself for a while because of the injury to his wrist that he sustained in our game against VCU. His shooting, he was not allowed to shoot in practice. So his shooting touch left him, and I think it also made him a little bit passive defensively, and he is a real key for us. And so today, early in the game, I inserted him because yesterday, actually the last 2 practices, Thursday, no, actually the last 3 practices. Wednesday, he started to look like himself. Thursday, he was very good, and yesterday he was, really terrific. And so today I wanted to get him in right away to see if he could, build on that momentum that he had. And he came in and did an absolutely terrific job at both ends of the court. His defense and then his layup making, that one 3-point play, the first basket that he got, where he just attacked the rim, and his defense was really good. And of course, that leads to more minutes for him, so that gets him more and more comfortable that he knows, hey, I'm not just in the rotation, but I'm playing like starters minutes.
Coach, you mentioned about how you weathered the storm there at the end. With 7:43 left in the first half, they had 25 points. They ended up with 29 at halftime. When you went into the locker room at halftime, did you feel like now that you had the lead, you were in good shape?
Our message to the players was about the level of effort in the CAA tournament. Not just about Georgia State, but the whole atmosphere here and how hard you have to play. And we were able to pick up that level of intensity in the last 7 minutes of the first half. But there are times that a team will think, okay, now we're in control, you let up. And our message was not only can we not let up, but we actually have to pick up the level of intensity we played in the last 7 minutes and sustain it and improve it for the next 20.
Jim, some of the players alluded to slow starts recently. How do you combat that these last 2 days? And I assume it's kind of along the lines of the intensity that you're talking about.
It's not like against VCU and Northern Iowa, we were very fast out of the blocks. Then we played a couple of games where the opponent played basically slow. So it's hard to just generate high intensity at the offensive end when your possessions are so far apart. In football, they always talk about length of possession. How long does a team hang on to the ball? And that keeps the other team's offense off the court, off the field. In basketball, when a team hangs on to the ball 20, 30 seconds, and the game doesn't have a rhythm of up and down, it's kind of like walk the ball up the floor, run a set play, then it's difficult to just come out of the blocks fast because you score, it's going to be 30 seconds before you get the ball back. So we actually tried to do something. We scrambled a little bit early trying to pick up the tempo, but they did a good job with it. They were real sharp early.
The last few years, Mike has been an intense player to say the least, but today it looked like he showed a lot of restraint on a couple plays, even with hands in his face. Was that a conscious effort for him to try to keep it a little cooler than usual?
Well, I would say the message to our whole team, the last thing we say when we're talking about ourselves is we use the expression poise down the stretch. And in essence, it's actually poised throughout the game, on the court, off the court, how you conduct yourself. And Mike Morrison and the other guys, I thought, really handled themselves well. I'm not sure, I think the term was take him out. When we got that fast break and Mike was going up for the dunk, and someone yelled to the defender, take him out. And Mike was like, uh-oh, here it comes. So, you know, you have to be strong. You're going to get fouled. I mean, you know, guys don't want to get dunked on, and you don't want to give up easy baskets. And so you got to learn to live with that. If you're a Mike Morrison or a college basketball player, the game is physical. Yes.
Can you talk about Drexel and VCU? I know you want to reflect on the past game, but the winner of this game, a potential matchup.
Actually, I talked to the players afterwards. One of the things you have to do is enjoy a victory. You know, you can't immediately just change your mindset to talk about someone else. Even in this hypothetical situation, you don't even know who it is. So what we'll do is we'll eat, rest, we'll get together as a team, and we'll start preparing for the opponent once we know who we're playing.
You played some young guys a lot more in the game than it seems like during regular season, especially Brian Allen. He came out, looked like the first or second set of substitutions. What were you trying to get? Was it a level of energy you thought they would bring to the game early on?
Well, it's based on how well a guy is practicing. And, you know, Vertrail Vaughns is someone that's been practicing great, so we want to give him an opportunity. In Isaiah Tate's case, he's really practiced well the last 3-4 days, and we wanted to get him in early. And in Brian's case, he's very good at using ball screens. He's good at drawing fouls. He's good at getting assists. And with Andre Cornelius, he was playing so hard when he went through that stretch early in the game, even before he hit the threes. He was, to me, he's an all CAA defender. He wasn't recognized for that, but he is, and he knows it, and our team knows it. And so giving Brian an opportunity to handle the ball and run the team for a while was also an opportunity for DJ, Andre Cornelius, to get some needed rest. Thank you.